Welcome to Networking Squared with Jerry O and Al Crawford. Grab your coffee, hang out for an hour, and learn from their business experts. Now, here are your business squares, Jerry and Al.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a wonderful, cool morning. Little frost on the pumpkin. I am Jerry O and Networking Squared. My partner, Al Crawford, sitting next to me. And I want to talk a little bit about Jerry O and the O-Zone. I want to put you into the zone for networking. And when you are out at a networking group, I would like you to know that you are not selling your goods and services, products. That's not what you're doing. You are all about selling yourself. You can't sell anything unless people believe in you, want to meet with you, and talk with you. So when you're out there, put yourself in the O-Zone. I am Jerry O, and don't sell your products, sell yourself. I'd like to introduce on the other side of Networking Squared and Mr. Al Crawford and Mr. Crawford's Corner. Why don't you tell us a little bit about networking, Al?
Good morning, Jerry, and thanks for actually letting me speak finally. Man, I didn't think I was going to even have an opportunity today, so thanks a lot. Yeah, I guess my tip for the day is really to say that when you're using social media, make sure that every single day, whatever you're posting, make sure there's something that you're posting that's teaching people about what you do for a living. You're not selling to them, you're educating them on what you do.
All right, so what you're saying here is that we're posting every day?
Absolutely.
So what am I posting? What would be a good thing for me to post on Facebook or LinkedIn?
Again, what we're trying to do is teach people about what we do. If I'm a real estate agent, I'm talking about a house I've just sold. I'm giving some insight, giving some positive feedback on the great things that are going on in my industry. There's enough negative things going on about the different things with real estate. Talk about the positive things. Give people hope. Give them some insight on what's going on. And that applies to any industry. Give people positive input on what's going on and how they can recognize you as an expert in what you do and why would they want to hire you. And the more information we share on a daily basis, I use it like the analogy of a billboard. I drive by the billboard every day, and ultimately I'm going to know what all those billboards say.
Well, so when I was talking about when you're out at a networking group and you're not selling your goods and services, you're actually selling yourselves. Are you talking that's the same thing on social media that you're doing?
Yeah, it is. Because what you're really trying to do is you're trying to identify the person that you want to speak to. When you're at a networking function, what you're doing is not about passing out business cards. It's about finding that person that you want to have a relationship with, that you feel that you can help each other's business. Same situation on social media. It's about getting the word out there and having the people identify you as somebody that they want more information from.
Well, and then after that, you set up one-on-ones, you set up the subsequent meetings?
Yes, one-on-one meetings. Again, finding that person who you feel you can have a business relationship with, that you can help each other's business. People make the mistake of thinking that somebody who is a customer is a referral partner. If I'm going and I'm buying your service, that's a one-sided thing. I'm looking at something where I can give and I can get. That's something where I want to have that relationship with that person.
Well, we've talked an awful lot since last week's show. You talked quite a bit about social media, networking online, LinkedIn. You had a lot of statistics about LinkedIn last week. And what was the response for that?
It was overwhelming. I don't think people really understood what the feedback or what the coverage is of LinkedIn. And I think that when you look at those demographics and seeing that the percentage of people that are college graduates that use this, that are the decision makers in corporations, that this is the number one hiring tool in the world. These are things that there's so many people that don't understand how important LinkedIn is. And it's something where people really need to get on board and understand that it is a critical piece in this whole game of networking.
Well, we're trying to bring that to you and bring you some energy, teach you, bring you the O-Zone, bring you Crawford's Corner. And one of the things that we talk about is getting out there networking. This is a lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. You just don't walk in, do a networking thing, and walk out. It's a lifestyle. You're doing it every day. You're posting on Facebook. You're posting on LinkedIn every day, putting out that information. And if you'd like to get in on the conversation, 1-800-923-9385. Give us a call. We've got an exciting show coming up here. We've got a great second segment, and I would like to talk about what we're going to be doing this week, Al. We've got one charitable thing and one networking thing.
Yeah, the charity thing is something where I'm really looking forward to helping out Becky and the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and I'm really looking forward to spilling a lot of liquid and making a total jerk of myself behind the bar.
I can't wait to see Al out there bartending.
You did it again.
Yeah, no, well, I want to be a bartender, so if you bartender, you bartendering. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. Jerry O and Al Crawford are going to be down at the Signature Grill for a just goofing off behind a bar. They're probably not really going to let us mix drinks, but we'll have a professional next to us to make sure that if we get in trouble, but they might let us make ice. So that's
I'm capable of probably pulling a tap and filling up a beer. That's about what I can do.
All right, well, keep your lips out from underneath the tapper. Don't drink the beer. What we're going to do here, the guest of honor will be Becky Vermander from Holiday Inn in Troy, and we are going to be raising money for cystic fibrosis. She is a cystic fibrosis person who has gone through a double lung transplant, and an amazing lady. She will be there. That will be our guest of honor. Al and I will be out bartending. What else are we going to do? We're going to toss some bottles around?
Yeah, I'm going to bring some bottles. They will be plastic, obviously, because that's not going to work out. And, something, again, is where my thoughts for Becky is that Becky actually saved my sister-in-law's life. My sister-in-law was in need of a double lung transplant, and she was leery about having it done. And I had told Becky about her, and she actually went to her and talked to her about her story and shared what life was like on the other side of this double lung transplant. And actually she went forward with the surgery, and she's doing well now. So in my eyes, Becky saved her life.
And all of this came about from
networking.
So when I say that it is a lifestyle, I'm talking about a lifestyle. Anyway, we will be down there Wednesday, November 10th. It's going to start around 7 o'clock. We'll probably get down there about 6 so we can get some drinks spilled and get your bar ready to go. It's going to be at the Signature Grill, 250 Riverfront Drive, right on the Detroit River. Got a beautiful view of Windsor.
Amazing view.
And the food is great. Please join us. Check us out on the Facebook fan page. You can see where we're going to be for that. Also on Thursday night, just because Al and I don't ever stay home, we are going to be out at the
Vineyards.
The Vineyards. We're going to be out at the Vineyards, and I'm just turning page here. It's going to be on Northwestern Highway. It's going to be a meet and greet at the Vineyards. Northwestern Highway, just south of 14 Mile. They're going to put out all the food and non-alcoholic beverages for the people that were with us on Wednesday night. It'll be a good night for detoxing. So come on out. They're going to put out free food. This will be an LBN event, and we're going to use all of the things that we are talking about and teaching everybody. You can come out and see us do it in person.
And I'm looking forward to it again. We can never get enough of this stuff, Jerry.
I love doing it. We don't ever stay home. It's all about networking. It is our lifestyle. So if you're interested, please check out the Facebook for Networking Squared. You can also check out Jerry Olson on Facebook and Al Crawford. And we have all of those events. We would love to see you out at those. It will be a great time. Our in-studio guest for this next segment is Michael Angelo Caruso. Al, where did you meet him?
Actually, I met Michael at the Troy Rotary. It's an amazing group of people that I've been involved with for a couple of years, and Michael was one of the fellas at one of the tables. And through the last couple of years, we've become pretty good friends, and I've been very impressed with what he does and what he represents. And I'm really, really thrilled about having him on the show with us today.
Well, one of the things that I read doing my research on Michael and had it to do with smiling. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And we're glad to have you. Tell me a little bit about that smile thing.
Well, for years I've been telling people that if you walk into a room with a neutral expression or a resting face, that it's not the most attractive type of entrance that you can make. That's essentially the same expression that you'd have in your casket. And I think when you walk into the room looking like a dead person, that it probably could affect the outcome of the interactions and the networking that takes place in that room. So I always suggest a technique I invented called smiling through doorways, which is essentially putting a little smirk or a grin on your face when you walk into a room, which sends a signal that you're very comfortable with yourself, you're comfortable in the environment, and that you're competent. You know, the fact that you could probably solve some problems for people.
Before the show, as we sat and we talked about the baby boomers and being involved in networking, and that whole thing might be something new to them. We've never had to do this. All the while we've been in business for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So now, is this something that the baby boomers need to embrace?
Oh, sure. Networking used to be an elective, and now it's mandatory. The recession triggered that. I think competition triggers that. I think the downsizing of large businesses and the upsizing of small businesses has created a sort of competition where everybody's fighting for a little bit of market share. And I think this is a good time for people to really bone up on these techniques. And you guys are doing a great service by providing education.
Well, thanks, Mike, and we really appreciate it. One of the other things that I was looking at your bio is, and I'm going to read this verbatim here. It says, "Your people will learn valuable communication techniques just by shaking my hand, or you don't have to pay me." Now, when we come back, I want to get some more information about that, and I'm really going to be curious about where he's going with that. It's going to be a real interesting thing in our next segment. So we're going to give you some time to think about that one, Michael, because that's a pretty radical statement for us there, bud.
Well, before we take off, and I want to just talk about Michael a little bit, a valued consultant to companies and organizations all over the world. Is that true? You've traveled the world doing this?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I just got back. This is a vacation, but I just got back from Scandinavia, where I hope next time I go back, I'll have some work, made some connections out there. So it's a big world out there. Talk about networking. Why not leave the United States to network? The foreign markets are ripe.
Well, foreign markets, Al and I have worked in foreign markets. We've been down to Melvindale twice, so it's an exciting thing. Michael Caruso is the founder and president of Edison House. Now, what is Edison House?
Edison House is a company I started many, many years ago. A lot of people ask, where did you get the name Edison House? And they're hoping for some sort of ethereal answer. The truth is I worked out of my home on Edison Street, and that's the whole story right there. But like a lot of other bootstrappers, I started my company with a credit card and the belief that people could use my services, and it's worked out very well.
I'm glad you didn't grow up on Pinto or something. That would have been a little explosive, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, an author also?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of books are we authoring?
Well, it's not just books anymore. People aren't reading like they used to. So information products tend to be not only books, but audio programs, video programs, e-books, which are much more palatable for a lot of people because they're shorter and have smaller words.
One of the things on your bio, it said, how do you read 30 books a year? That was, and I've just kind of added it up, and I don't know that I've read 30 books in my life.
Oh, you probably have. But books are important because when you meet people, they're looking for value. So they're looking for not only your charming personality, but they're looking for a body of knowledge. And the way you come into that body of knowledge is by constantly inputting good quality data into your noggin. The secret to 30 books a year is simple. It's 2 books at a time, one audio in your car and one real book, or P-book we call them, print book, at home. And the other idea is that, of course, because I'm synthesizing the books, I take little notes. I'm constantly creating microblogs or status updates in my social media to relay a little bit of the key bits of information, and that's a good way to keep people interested in your social media posts.
Yeah, it's been a kind of an amazing thing, and obviously I was joking about the 30 books, but with all the networking that I've done over the last couple of years, it's actually allowed me to be published. I've actually appeared in 2 books this year, which I'm really proud of.
Nice.
And it's been a real cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to head off to break here, and the best communication is the solution to almost every problem. Proactive communication is almost always the best solution. Is that something from you?
That's me.
All right, and we're going to get back to Al's question. Your people will learn to value communication techniques just by shaking my hand, or you don't have to pay me. Al, I want you to go after him after the break. Grrr. We are Networking Squared. Thank you for being here today.